is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to our playthrough of Final Fantasy VII. Today we are moving forward with the plot, not doing any side quest content, not grinding. We are moving forward into the Temple of the Ancients. You can see it right in front of me right now as I approach it. It looks basically like a giant ziggurat right out in the middle of the jungle. I should mention that this is going to be another narration style video. I didn't get a chance to record my voice as I was playing again, and I'm sorry for that. But it looks like this part's only going to be about 30 minutes to 40 minutes or so it shouldn't be as long as the last ones were. And then hopefully we can get back into the live feel of a live playthrough as it is happening at the same time. Always important to make sure that you save before you go into anywhere in this game, and the Temple of the Ancients is no exception. Now, just to recap from last time, we lost the keystone which granted us entrance into this temple because Ketshi stole it from us last time. But we chased down the helicopter, the Shinra helicopter, over here to the Temple of the Ancients, and we are going to go get our keystone back and then proceed forward into the temple. And of course, after we make our way up into the Temple of the Ancients, who do we see but Zhang? Tizang. Zhang. I'm actually not sure how to say his name, but I think the T is silent. So this is Tizang. This is Zhang. Something happened to him. He's telling us what happened right now. And now we have our keystone back. And at last, we have made our entrance into the Temple of the Ancients by sinking through the floor. Now, at first glance, this looks really confusing. And for the most part, it is. This winding area of pathway here, this layered area here where all these paths just overlap one another is very confusing to the eye. But after you navigate it a few times, and after you figured out where you can go and where you can't go, it becomes a little more clear how to actually navigate through this area. So in true RPG fashion, it's really just a matter of exploring the area, exploring the space, figuring out what's a path and what isn't a path, which, to be honest with you, I don't think it's really fair, considering it looks like everything is a path, or it looks like nothing is a path. But we're going to do our best to navigate the area and do our best to make our way through the temple here without getting too lost. We pick up a trident, which is a weapon for Sid. Climb up these vines. Now, we can't actually make our way into that little room that's right in front of us right now. I'll show you after this battle is over. But we will make our way into that room later on, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like we're going to chase down this weird-looking wizard guy. I wonder what he could be. But first we should pick up a mind source that's just chilling on the ground there. Yeah, so we'll talk to him first. And we'll discover that he may or may not seem like a creepy creature from some other dimension. But he's actually... he's actually a good guy. He's on our side. We have a silver rifle. It's a gun weapon. And of course, now that we've met this guy, we see that he functions as a place where we can save, we can rest, and we can actually shop. Which is good considering you can't actually leave this area once you've entered this area. So the biggest... So the biggest thing that you can do in this area is just to make sure that you don't get hit by any of those rolling rocks. Now, Cloud will avoid most of them on his own, so don't be a me and get hit 7 times in a row. As long as you're confident, you should be able to move forward without a problem. And the best news is that once you've actually made it through, you never have to bother with that again. The game will automatically stop those big rolling rocks, and then you can simply move into the next area, or in this case, make our way back to where Eris is going to take us. And this is the clock room. Now, the clock room is an interesting room because there's a lot of trapdoors here, there's a lot of secrets here, and they all kind of centralize around this same area right here in the beginning. Now, I don't know why anybody would ever like let the clock randomly decide where you would go. I think that was something the developers wanted to do at first, but they realized it was so time-consuming that it was kind of ridiculous. So they gave you the option then to move it yourself. What you want to do is go into room 4, 5, and 7, and 8. All the other rooms are basically monster in a box rooms or pointless rooms. You don't want to go into any other room other than 4, 5, 7, or 8. And then at least once, or really just once, you want to make sure you fall. And the way you fall is by letting the seconds hand hit you when you're on either the minute or the hour hand. It'll knock you over, you'll fall into the pit. Now you'll have to do a pretty straightforward fight, but there is an item waiting for you in the pit in a chest. The item that's waiting for you down there is the nail bat, which has no materia slots, but it really jacks up Cloud's attack stat. So I don't know if I'm ever going to use it for our purposes in this run through, but in your run through you might choose to use the nail bat simply because it's a really powerful weapon. It's a unique weapon. If you don't use materia a lot for some reason, it's a good weapon to use. And this is the Ruby Dragon. As you might have guessed, a Ruby Dragon, or a Red Dragon, or a Ruby Durgan, is a fire elemental enemy. The best way to approach this fight is to stick to water elementals and avoid doing things like casting fire, flame, ifrit, etc. We are going to cast Big Guard and then White Wind to make sure that the party here is in good shape, and then we're going to wail on him with water elemental attacks such as Aqualung, or we're going to show off the Leviathan summon too as Tidal Wave. Anyway, this fight is not terribly difficult. There's nothing worth stealing and no reason to manipulate, no enemy skills to worry about. So as long as you stick to the elementals and play them to your advantage, you should be able to come out ahead in this battle pretty easily. And it is kind of nice now. Ketchi, who is the reason we're in this mess in the first place, is actually going to be the one to save the day. And here we have one of the most difficult enemies in the game, one of the more notorious enemies in the game. This is the Demon's Gate. The Demon's Gate is a tough fight. He's got a really high defense stat. Yes, he can do a whole lot of damage to you in one hit. If you are not leveled up, this fight is darn near impossible. But just like anything else, if you approach it, with the goal in mind of doing maximum damage while inflicting or while receiving the least amount of pain or healing your characters appropriately, you should be able to last in this battle just fine. And to wrap things up, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for watching this part of our playthrough. I tried to speak significantly less this time than I have been in prior ones, just because this is a very linear part of the game. There's a lot of exploration, and there's a lot of repetitive things as far as trying different paths, going different directions, doing different things. But in general, there's nothing really to narrate, describe, or walk you through. There's only really one way to go. It just might take you a little while to find that one way. The bosses in this area are a little bit difficult, but if you've been following this walkthrough as a guide, if you're as prepared as I am for the things that have happened, then nothing should be any trouble to you whatsoever. The Ruby Dragon is pretty simple if you stick to the water elements. The Demon's Gate is pretty simple. Well, it's pretty simple if you are leveled up and if you respond to his attacks accordingly. But if you take any kind of risks, or if you're the kind of person who isn't doing a whole lot of damage because your levels just aren't high enough, then that battle is going to be significantly harder for you. Still, nonetheless, we are ready to move forward with the game. The next time I do this will be a live playthrough where I'll be narrating as I play, moving forward as I play, not narrating a video that has been pre-recorded. And I think that'll do this playthrough a little more justice, be a little better for the videos moving forward. So, thanks so much, guys, for watching this part of our playthrough. I promise we're going to get right back to normal with our next video. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you next time. Peace.